I just realized that I'm in full Foo Fighters mode today, so that is a great start. Hallo zusammen, I'm your Vlog Dave, and today I want to teach you some German words, and more precisely how to pronounce them, because some of these terms sound similar to English terms. Rather similar, very similar, or even almost alike. So before I'm gonna start talking about specific examples, let me say that I'm well aware of certain phonetic differences you can't really compare, and you should be aware of those as well. For instance, the typical English R is way different to the German R, even if the rest of a specific word is pretty similar to the English term. So there will always be distinct differences, but that doesn't mean that we shouldn't talk about certain similarities. That being said, let's begin with the first example. Das Bett. To bed. This is the German noun for the bed. It's das Bett singular, die Betten plural, and while it already sounds very similar to the English equivalent, the bed, the ending of the German term sounds a bit sharper, similar to the verb to bed. Number 2. Die Maus. The mouse. They are indeed the direct translation of each other. Generally speaking, the typical German diphthong au sounds similar to the English diphthong o. Which, by the way, we don't have in German, but we have other distinctive and recurring diphthongs. And if you want to learn more about those, and pretty much like those combinations of vowels, those recurring and fixed combinations, you can watch my lesson on that by clicking the thumbnail at the end of this video. You're welcome. Die Arbeit, the bite.
Whack, 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 whack.
You know that song, right? It's so annoying. It is so annoying. But anyway. Die Arbeit means the work. This German noun consists of two syllables. Die Silbe singular, die Silben plural. Arbeit. And the second syllable, bite, sounds just like the English term to bite. Beißen, or the noun. The bite, der Biss. Die Miete. Miete. Yeah, I know. But there are some similarities. This example is pretty interesting as well. Die Miete translates to the rent or the lease. Apart from the last vowel e, you can pronounce the majority of this word like the English term to meet. Treffen. Jemanden treffen. To meet someone. That is because ie is pronounced like a long e. So although there's an e included in ie, you wouldn't verbalize that. You just make the e longer. It's stressed. Although the last letter is a vowel, it's pronounced rather weak and unstressed. This specific sound, is called a Schwa in German linguistics, by the way, and it's a very, very common way of pronouncing lots of German words that end in e. So this is not an exception at all. For instance, when you think of conjugated verbs like fragte, sagte, meinte, you always have that sound at the end, although it's a typical e in written form. Yeah, the German language. Leiten, leiten. Leiten, to lead, sounds similar to the English noun light, das Licht. You could also draw an even closer similarity to the English term leiten. And also note how we Germans usually tend to drop the e in the suffix en, so it's just leiten without the e being verbalized at all, pretty much. It's not leiten, it's leiten. Der Mist, the mist. These two terms sound exactly alike. Awesome. Be careful though, because they are false friends. They don't share the same meaning. No. In German, der Mist means dung or muck, and the English mist means der Nebel in German. The movie The Mist, Der Nebel, based on the Stephen King story, is pretty good, by the way. Not sponsored, I just like it. Alright, so you'd like to support this channel and get something helpful back in return? If so, you can pledge something via Patreon and get access to all my video transcripts with all important information and sometimes even additional details. But of course, if you just want to support me on Patreon without being interested in these scripts, that's possible too. You can find a direct link to my Patreon page with more information on how that works in the video description. Both ways of supporting me are highly appreciated and really help me spending more time on making these videos. Anyway, I hope you've enjoyed this video as well, and if you have suggestions for specific topics, feel free to leave a comment as well. Thanks for watching, I'm your Vlog Dave, tschüss und bis zum nächsten Mal.